Welcome back to Fire and Smoke, New Ronne. We are Philip,
Abby,
Blake,
Ethan,
also known as Dungeon Master,
Avis Merlot,
Devon Merlot,
Neil.
On the last episode, we were introduced to Avis and Devon Merlot and their co-worker, Neil, in the federal colony of New Ronne, in the thawed and long-melted continent of the Antarctic. Avis and Devon dropped Milo off at daycare and headed to work, where they saw Neil in the server room. They had a conversation with the administrator, Avis's father, the leader of the station and the de facto leader of the colony itself. Avis was distracted from her work, spending time with her husband, and their co-worker formerly knew Neil, now just Neil, before something strange happened. Somebody appearing in the room with them, speaking in vague and confusing terms, answering questions indirectly and incompletely, but evidently having the power to move time through things and things through time. They watched as Neil was transformed from a arm-mounted torso and head and arms to a robot standing on its own 2 legs, a full metal man. And then the stranger lifted fingers at the 4 of them and sent Neil and Devon and Avis and the administrator moving through time. Neil embracing Devon.
It was Devon embracing Neil. I want to clarify. I'd prefer you say it that way.
Devon embracing Neil. Avis blinking away from them. And now, Devon and Neil stand in a future that looks very, very good, a utopia. Devon, Neil, you are standing outside now, kind of in the middle of the road. Around you are oblong, curving, and connecting mid-rise buildings covered in green glass, not like boxy stone and brick structures, but like mimicking organic shapes like leaves and the branches of a tree. And you see there's people walking about, smiling, going about their day. They look normal.
rats. They're not blue.
Are there other robots?
Why don't you guys both make a perception check?
What about me?
You're not here. You
I
can't
have a
perceive.
+9.
Our turn to
This is
perceive.
weird.
It's a dirty 20.
Oh, I got an 11.
On an 11, I think, Devon, you were distracted by seeing Avis suddenly go out of your view, and you're still just looking forward at open air, so you're not really taking in your surroundings. You're kind of dumbfounded, standing in place. But because of that, I do think you saw a little something with Avis. As you saw the film around you kind of suddenly stop, you saw Avis for a millisecond more before she went away from your view, and it looks like the film was still around her, like she was still going forward. So that's what you get with an 11. Neil, you're looking around, immediately trying to establish where you are. You see people walking around through the streets, and you do in a couple places see robots, but not like yourself. They do look more sleek, more advanced. They look similar to you. They're not humanoid. They're also humanoid robots. They just look like much more highly designed versions.
Is the city New Ronne?
It appears so.
Can we head to the research station?
I think we're at where the research station was.
I think, Neil, on your 20 perception, a little distance away, maybe a couple dozen feet, you see the back wall of what looks like the research station. It looks like it's connected to a much larger building now, like stuff was built around and on top of it, even though they kept the original structure. But you do see what looks like the back wall of your server room, which was in the back of the station. But it looks like it's a little distance away from you. So it doesn't look like perhaps you guys moved from where you were moved forward in time. But maybe the ground under your feet moved.
Oh.
What time is it?
It's a long time.
It's the middle of the afternoon, which would be about halfway through the year in between the long day and long night. The sun and moon cycles are a little bit more normal during this time of year. The sun will set, but it's like mid to late afternoon, sun low in the sky, maybe even a little closer to sunset, like orange light diffusing through the air. It's clearly a different time of year than what you were just experiencing in the past.
Neil's gonna turn to Devon, and if Devon doesn't look like he's about to do anything in particular and is just kind of confused and looking around, then Neil's gonna start walking towards the server room, kind of expecting Devon to follow. He doesn't really know what's happening, but it's the afternoon and he should be working.
Devon just kind of goes, Neil, wait up. And just kind of like stumbles a little bit as he's like trying to get his footing. And then, follows suit, I guess.
You make it to the back wall of the server room.
Is there a window?
You can walk around to the other wall where there was an old porthole window. And now you can see that's like connected. The building is connected to a larger structure. So now there's a new wall kind of enclosing the space. The window is still visible on the outside though. And if you peer through it, it looks like what was the server room is now a old closet packed high with shelves. And it's kind of blocking the view of the window. There's nothing in there.
I think we're out of a job.
We need to find out who's in charge here.
Neil, are you okay? Like this?
It's definitely strange to have legs, but it's not bad. It feels natural, even though I didn't have them before.
It's weird, right?
It's very weird, Devon.
And now we're in the future?
It would appear so.
I guess.
Maybe, Neil, maybe your robot mind is a little more analytical and it's more simple for you to think, to do complex calculations. Would you think so?
Sure, yeah.
Make an intelligence check for me.
Okay. Raw intelligence is a 7.
It's clear that the ground had moved under both of your feet as you were moved forward in the future, and you think about tectonic plate movement. With a 7, you're not exactly sure of the math based off of when you appeared here, the back wall being about 24 feet away, and you're not exactly sure how to work out the exact minute and hour, but that's at least over 100 years of tectonic plate movement, moving like more than 20 feet away, maybe even like 150 years.
I guess I relay that to Devon. I say, like,
Judging by the movement of the earth underneath us, I'd say at least 100 years has passed.
Oh. Hope that Avis and her dad are okay. I think Devon just kind of goes silent for a minute,
What's Devon thinking about?
regretting not acting faster, not trying to get to his wife, especially even before the stranger did anything to Neil. It's a scary situation thinking back on it now. And he just didn't move.
Felt yourself kind of like rooted in place out of
Yeah.
fear next to Neil, next to the server wall, maybe mirroring a little bit your distance with Avis, as the two of you were very busy with work and very busy with Milo, and you stayed on that side instead of moving towards her. I think you remember as you were being moved forward, blinding white light around you, and after hugging Neil, trying to go to her and reaching out, and before you got there, her already being gone.
I just hope it's not too late.
Neil's gonna put a hand on his shoulder. It's not like before, where like the robot was always a little clunky and too rough with people. Like now it's a lot more natural. And he's trying to, I guess, comfort the both of them.
It's going to be okay, Devon. There will be a new administrator. They'll know what to do.
Yeah, Neil, you're right. Let's find a way in.
I just hope you're still authorized inside the station.
I don't know about that, Neil.
Well, Neil's gonna start moving towards where he
Okay.
thinks the entrance to the research station is. It may have moved with the new building.
As you both walk around towards the front of this large multi-story building now, while you're looking for the entrance and as you're moving towards a more main and central street where there are more people and a better view, you can both make another perception check.
I got a 15.
18?
I'm going to list a few features of this place that you both see, the colony itself and the station. As you're moving around, before you make it to the front door, you are examining the world around you, and you see green flora here. There's plants. There's on street corners and in little pocket parks and clearings. There are like trees and bushes and stuff that absolutely wasn't growing in New Ronne in your time, taking root and being full of life. You see in the distance where there are maybe city limits, kind of up on a hill and have a little bit better view. You see there's some greenery that extends out past this place, but it looks like it's being cared for and nurtured by people in like large machines that move across the landscape. It looks like it's not necessarily growing and spreading out on its own, but it still requires a lot of work to maintain. You see people all around are very leisurely. Some people are doing jobs, but nobody moves with urgency. Nobody is running about. Nobody looks like they're hard at work, even when they're doing jobs. It looks like they're working at their own pace on their own time. People are very happy. People are relaxed. Lots of people sitting in cafes, talking, chatting, laughing, playing games outside. Not a lot of work going on. Neil, you're looking at the station. Devon, you're looking around. Devon, as you look out across the town from this little vantage point, you see the dock where there is a large, like, cruiser class blimp, like the thing that was delivering cargo before, now far more advanced, and it looks like it's a passenger style vehicle that's bringing people in as it's landing and its turbines are spinning down. And you see in the distance on the water the defensive embargo. Those ships that had been ships before are now still far apart in a stretched out line surrounding off into the distance, far away where you can't see. They are like octagonal floating fortresses, like aircraft carrier sized things. They've been upgraded. You see large weapons. Neil, as you poke your head around the corner looking at the entrance, you see there is like security, like guards at the front door, people with weapons. They are in stark black uniform, and they do not look happy. They do not match the vibe of everybody else in this place. They have a look like they're assholes. You're not sure that it's a good idea to walk up and try to talk to them.
Do they have, like, the research station badges on them?
These people wear no badges. These people wear a uniform of, I think you might think like military. It just has that tone and that style. And they have that stance, that straight back, arms behind them, weapons at their sides, looking out and forward. And you notice the station itself, those new additions, it looks more like a military outpost or a fortress rather than a governmental agency building.
Are there any like flags around? Like, are there still like US flags, or does it look like...
You see a tall flagpole flying the United States flag.
Okay.
Neil takes a second to steady himself, which is not something he's used to doing. He's trying to push the fear to the back of his robot mind.
Fear is a strange feeling.
Fear is bad, man. He doesn't like it.
Neil, do you think it'd be a good idea to maybe like go to the store and get like a Snickers for them or something?
Why would we do that?
Well, just look at them. I think they might be a little unhappy if we were to just walk up to them, without a gift.
But you have your badge.
That's true, but who's to say the badge, is even recognized anymore?
Neil thinks for a second, and his fans really were He tries to think hard. All right, let's get a Snicker for the guards.
I guess we'll go head into town. I'll start leading the way a little bit. Walk away from the guards. Maybe not trying to like not be spotted by them or not be like suspicious in any way or anything like that. Just casually.
As you walk towards the place where you know the distribution center was, where you could pick up any supplies that you ever needed, you are walking past people and you see a few people are like making note of Neil, eyebrows raising, like some people pointing, maybe like people seeing a classic car on the road. As you're walking, you're seeing more of this place. Down in the port, you're seeing that passenger vehicle has landed and people are deboarding. You're seeing large cargo aircraft coming in for landing to unload their supplies and fuel this place. It seems like everything is still coming from the outside. This place looks so leisurely. Things aren't being made here, but they're still clearly being made somewhere by somebody. It looks like this is the good life where you are. As you're walking through town, each of you should make a perception check again.
Got a nat 20. Yay.
I got a nat
Hooray!
1.
You said it so hesitantly.
You got a nat 1.
I got a nat 1.
A nat 1 and a nat 20. On a nat 20, you see two very interesting and key things cutting through kind of some of the cohesion of this place. One of the things is something that you don't see. Actually, you don't see any mutated animals. Something that your whole life had become a very normal and natural thing. Since you were a young kid, the world had changed because of the bloom. The working knowledge that you, as like a regular person who isn't a botanist like your wife was, like your wife is,
Like your wife will be.
was basically that the bloom in the former mountain states that used to be the United States output spores into the atmosphere after it started expanding. And even though it was stopped at its borders by the ocean and by the United States, it still pumped spores into the atmosphere and diffused throughout the world, changing it. All land-dwelling, air-breathing things breathe in the spores with every breath. Something about that, you read in a science book, does something to your body, to your bloodstream, to your circulatory system. Can't really remember, but it changed you. You heal from injuries very fast now, just like everybody else. That's been a thing your whole life. There are healers. You've had a bad fall one time and had to go to the healing center and got fixed up by a healer. And and we're friends with talking animals like BB, the courier bird. You don't see any mutated animals anywhere about. The other thing you see is one eyesore standing out amongst this very high life kind of place. There is a belligerent man stumbling his way down the street, clearly having been drinking a lot, holding an open bottle in his hand as it's sloshing onto the ground. His hair looks dirty and matted. He wears dirty clothes. He's having a hard time standing upright. And as he turns around to take a swig and throws his head up toward the sky, you see his face. He's got a scraggly beard, and he's dirty and unkempt, and it's hard to tell, but on a nat 20, from all this distance away, you see Avis's father, the administrator, your boss. He doesn't look much older than the last time you saw him before you were moved here. He just looks like a person that's been through a lot. He's by himself. People are giving him a wide berth. He's very outside the norm right now. Everybody else is very neat and not necessarily uptight, but, high class. And this is low class stuff.
Devon's just gonna step away from Neil and just kind of run up to him. Sir, are you okay? Where's Avis? I grab his shoulders as I'm saying this.
Neil walks up and follows, but he's not running like you are.
You grab his shoulders, Devon, trying to steady him, and he's still like swaying, and he puts the bottle down, and he is blackout drunk. He's gone, and he looks at you, and he's like, remember you.
Yeah, it's me, your son-in-law.
He takes another swig. Fucking asshole. Who the hell did you get here? He is slurring his words, hard to understand, very, very drunk.
Here, we'll talk later. Where are you staying? Where are you sleeping?
Why are you not gonna ask about me?
I did. I said, well, I can't talk to him. I can't talk to him right now. Be for real. Like,
the administrator's head is kind of rolling, and you are having to give him more support than you thought you would need to keep him from falling over in this moment. And the only things you've gotten out of him are loosely the words like, oh, I remember you, and how did you get here? And also, he said, fucking asshole.
it's true.
You see, as you're talking to him, there's a couple people kind of walking up to you guys. And they look like they're in blue jumpers, and one of them has a clipboard. They're very clean, well kept. You see a man and a woman. You see these two people are walking up, kind of smiling softly and looking with like a knowing look at the two of you. And one of them says, all right, Ralph, let's get you to the detox center. And starts like trying to put his arm over her shoulder and like take the weight from you, Devon, if you're not resisting that.
I'll try to take the other arm and help out.
You see the man with the clipboard says, oh, sir, we appreciate it, but we can really take it from here if you want. This isn't our first rodeo with Ralph.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'd like to help. He's my father-in-law.
I guess if you'd like to help us walk into the detox center. Wait, I'm sorry, you said he's your father-in-law?
Yes.
Did you just get here?
Yeah, we just got to town.
Interesting. So you're family of him.
Yes.
I'm not.
That's true.
He came up with a look of like, let me help these poor guys out. They, like they deal with Ralph a lot. And they were giving kind of Neil like an interested look of like, oh, cool, like older robot. Wow. But now this is like news to them, and they're like giving second glances to both of you. Mm-hmm. And you see the man says, wow, that's crazy. Is the rest of the family on the mainland, or how did he get here? He's been around as long as I've been here, so.
Oh. Well, I'll be honest. We were just coming to visit. We didn't know he was actually here.
Well, we were about to take him to the detox chamber so he could rest and recover and get some of this out of his system. He gets a little rowdy sometimes when he's like this, so it's just for everybody's safety. Do you have a house or somewhere that you're staying that you'd like to take him to? I'm Zachary, by the way. What are your names?
Oh, my name's Devon, and this is Neil.
I'm Neil. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You see the medic looks at you, Neil, and he's like, wow. Looks to you, Devon. Did you fix him up? Have you upgraded his cognitive processing? Does he have full sentience?
Oh, I know a bit about his internals and stuff, but to answer your previous question, we don't really have anywhere we were planning on staying. I don't know if there was some sort of like lodging we could find.
Okay, well, how about this? Per protocol, we'll take him to the detox center if you don't have a house or home you're staying at. I understand your family, so I don't know if there's any bad feelings about that, but he'll just rest and get some of this out of him, and you can pick him up in the morning. You see during this time, by the way, that Avis's father has like clunked out. Like his head is resting on the shoulder of the other medic, and she is like supporting his full weight as he's kind of like slumped down, asleep, snoring. He's dropped the bottle out of his left hand and it's fallen to the ground.
What does that snore sound like?
That's what it sounds like. Imagine I just did that.
Neil, do you think that'll be okay if they take him for the night?
It's probably for the best. Administrator Merlot's in a rather sorry shape.
Merlot. Interesting. I had never heard anything besides Ralph. That's all he would give us. In fact, I wasn't even sure that was his name or just a nickname that people called him.
His name's Ralph. It's kind of weird, though. We haven't heard anyone call him that for a while.
And I've never known him to drink.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, yeah, you can go ahead and take him for the night. That should be okay.
All right, friend. Well, come pick him up in the morning. He should be much more in his own mind by then.
Yeah. Where would we pick him up exactly?
The detox center. It's in the medical complex. And he kind of takes Avis's dad by the other arm, putting it over his shoulder. And the two medics start dragging him away, his legs dragging on the floor behind them as they walk off. And I'll say, Devon, what Neil said is true. You didn't know Avis's dad to drink at all. In fact, you're pretty sure he doesn't drink.
Neil, I wonder how long he's been here. And where Avis is. Like, he didn't seem to really react when I mentioned her.
It's certainly possible we'll know more in the morning.
I hope so. I mean, I guess they brought up a pretty good point. We need somewhere to stay.
Well, I was going to stay in the server room. Oh.
Maybe in some weird way, someone from our family's at our house? Surely our house is still here.
I've never seen your house.
Yeah, Neil, you could finally come over.
House tour.
Have you ever seen the outside?
No, I haven't. I was assembled and turned on for the first time in the server room.
Well, soak it in.
Interrupting your conversation here, you're kind of standing off to the side of the street in the middle of a busy thoroughfare with lots of restaurants and people sitting at tables and on benches, chatting, laughing, eating. There is a commotion that catches your attention as you hear a crash. Somebody sitting at one of the tables just off to your left that you could kind of see in your peripheral. You didn't hear any sounds. You didn't hear any bangs. You didn't hear any argument or fight leading up to it. It just was at a table with two friends talking casually and laughing together. One of them has crashed onto the table and then onto the floor, and you look over and see the person is laying completely still on the ground, arms sprawled out, and they look like they have holes in their chests where blood is pouring from them. You see everybody around stops what they're doing. People cover their mouths with their hands, gasping. Some people take steps back. But you can both make an insight check about this, as you're very freaked out all of a sudden.
I was going to ask, like, is anybody else, like, confused about what happened? Or are they just shocked that someone is dead, you know?
16.
I got an 11.
Because you asked it yourself, I think with an 11 you will see that they're not confused in the way that you are confused about what's happening. They're confused because of the sudden nature of it and the shock, but there is like a knowing look in everybody's eye and like a more of a pity for the person than a fear of what's happening. You see somebody like shaking their head and like clicking their tongue, and a few people are like giving that like half smirk smile like, man, that's too bad. And with a 16, Neil, you're seeing that as well. And you see one person next to you has stopped and is just like arms crossed going,
We should help that person.
You see the person turns towards you and says, help, what are you talking about? And you see it's a young woman with long black hair.
We could take her to the medical center.
You watch as she like bunches up her face like in confusion for a second and then like shakes herself out of it and is like, what, did you just get out of the icebox or something, man? What rock have you been living under? That's not going to do anything.
I mean, the healers can bring people back if it's fast enough, right?
Healers?
Doctors, sorry.
Are you guys like new here, or have you been on ice for 50 years, or what's going on?
We did just get to town. Clearly, we're a little confused.
Well, I don't know what backwoods town you were living in, but Doctors aren't going to do anything for this kind of thing.
What kind of thing? Sorry, we're just confused, you know.
You're not being helpful.
Neil, it's okay.
So you've never seen anybody killed like this before?
I've never seen anybody die at all.
You are like 200 years old. How's that possible? And you're a, young guy, but I mean, what's going on? If you weren't on ice and you were living off the grid, disconnected from everything?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Neil's actually gonna like step in front of Devon and like push Devon aside a little bit, and there's kind of like a moment of pride of like,
I'm a highly advanced prototype. I'm a Pearson Robotics server maintenance droid. I'm called Neil.
Well, Neil, I didn't mean to offend you. You're just, an older model. I don't know about highly advanced prototype. If you were refurbished, then, I mean, it's a cool look. I mean, definitely style-wise, I like this a lot better. It's like retro.
Oh,
Neil looks down at like his new like arms and legs and all, and he's like, he was impressed by how cool and new he looked. So it definitely hurts to be called retro. I think Neil's gonna like kind of push past this person and walk towards the person on the ground, because like he doesn't want to be having this conversation. He wants to just try to be helpful.
You see the person laying on the ground. Nobody has moved to help. You can see in the distance those medics are already on their way back to this location to kind of come collect this person. The person on the ground is a young woman, blonde, short hair, smaller, and she was sitting across from another woman, a black woman with short cut hair as well. And that person is kind of just staring ahead, still looking towards the spot where the woman was sitting, like dumbfounded. You can tell she's processing everything. Something changes in her face, and she stands up, grabs her bag from the chair, and starts walking away. And you see the person lying on the ground is completely still. There's not even a lot of blood pouring out anymore. It's already kind of slowed. And make a perception check on the body.
19.
The body looks cold, and the discoloration of like the skin and the eyes are darker and like sunken in. It looks like they've been dead for a long time.
But you said there's like holes in her?
Yeah.
Like what size holes? Like where on her body?
2 little holes in her chest.
Are there any invested bystanders, or is everybody like...
Some people are already kind of moving about their day. They saw the medics coming and they know this is getting wrapped up, and nobody seemed very shocked by this. A couple people look sad at like the concept of a person being dead. They're not like amoral. This is just something that is apparently a normal-ish thing for them. If not like regular, at least something they know happens or has happened.
I'm still like talking with this person while Neil is going to
looking
check
at the
out
body.
the body. Yeah, to answer your question, neither of us have seen anything like this before. What's going on?
Okay. Well, this person, I guess, was hard to know for sure. I saw the body just like you, but if they're like this, that means they were a traitor or committed treason or something in the future. I don't know.
So they were like killed remotely?
Yeah. Okay. But how are they dead?
They were killed in the future, man.
Don't we all die in the future?
Are you a cop? What are you talking about? Are you trying to get me to talk about the timers, or... I'm not gonna get into anything that might be, akin to treason to the United. I'm a good citizen, okay?
No.
If this was a test, I promise. I'm just trying to... I thought you were a confused person. I was trying to be helpful, okay? Just helpful.
No, I'm not like a phishing email or anything like that, okay? I'm really confused. Okay, I'm not a cop. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, man, unless you want to end up like that, you should stop asking so many questions and just go about your day. Asking questions like that about how or why things happens leads to a life that will end up with you like that, maybe right now. I don't know. She kind of like takes a step back, like she's expecting your chest to burst with some more holes.
They get shot with like time bullets.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I could be of some help. Hey, I got a DJ set coming up during the long dusk if you guys want to check it out. If you're new here, the rave scene during the long night goes crazy.
Walking away in the middle of it.
You guys should come support.
Already walking towards Neil.
You're walking away towards Neil.
I don't understand how this could have happened, Devon. This doesn't make any sense.
That crazy lady was saying something about she got killed in the future or something, and something about timers. There's got to be something related to how we got here.
The Blue Stranger said that the research station was doing work related to this. We need to talk to the administrator when he wakes up.
I remember Ralph saying something about something that we weren't privy to when he talked to us the first time. Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know.
We'll need to get higher security authorization. Maybe he can help with that.
I don't think that he's really working at the research station anymore, Neil.
Make an intelligence check and an insight check to parse out some of the confusing stuff that's happening.
8 intelligence and a 5 insight.
Oh no.
Neil, you want to help out here?
Sure. That's an 8 intelligence, but a 22 insight.
Okay.
8 intelligence and a 22 insight. Very insightful, not being able to figure out what something means, though. While you're thinking about the conversation you were overhearing, even while you were, looking at the body, people use, phrases to refer to things. That woman, before Devon walked away, had used a phrase a couple times that piques your interest, and you think you don't know what it means, but you might like to look into it more. She used the phrase, "What were you, on ice?" or something. So that's interesting. As for the administrator, the admin you saw just now, drunk and belligerent, looked dirty and like he had been through a lot, but as for his skin and his eyes and his hair and his age, he didn't look any older than the administrator you knew at the station, and you've moved 150 years into the future.
I mean, he's been here for probably at least a few years, because the other guy said he's been there as long as him.
According to that, he's been here for a while. When you were looking at Avis, you were looking at Avis and not really making note of anything else around. But before she went away, the perception check that you already made had told you that she was still moving forward. You stopped before her and you saw her go out of sight. And so if the administrator was the same way, you would think he would as well, but he's been here for years and also doesn't look any older. Very confusing. There's a lot that you're noticing though, and you don't know what it all means.
I mean, at the very least, Neil, we'll probably get some answers tomorrow once he's lucid. I don't know how much else we're going to be able to figure out today.
Should we try your home?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We'll move into a little exploration over the course of the day before the sun fully sets, because at this time of year it does set and rise. Make an investigation check, both of you.
I got a 16.
18.
Neil does better, and he's never been outside before.
Bro,
It's
head on
all
a
fresh.
swivel.
It's all fresh in his mind. Everything is new that he's examining. Your eyes might pass over something because you're I know what that is. But together, you both have an average of a 17. It's pretty good, working as a team. You move about New Ronne, trying to get into conversations with some people and ask questions without giving away too much about yourself or making people suspicious. And with a 18 and a 16, your house simply isn't there anymore. There's a, big glass building. It looks like a place where a lot of people live, like it's apartments or condos or just, multifamily housing. Like all the other structures, it's beautiful and oblong and organic. The medical center, you take note of where it is. You walk by to make sure you know how to get there in the morning. It is where the detox center is. It's a large building, but it's more like a hospital. and you're still walking around and not seeing mutated animals, and maybe even you're feeling a little bit weaker, Devon. And there are like doctors and like treatment going on there. You're looking through windows, or you walk in to see people receiving treatment, and it's much more like traditional medicine, like had happened before you were born, before there were healers. And you're worried about what's going on with that, because it means quite a lot for you. If you continue to be here, you put yourself in a lot of danger if it's going to mean you don't have access to a healer, or you don't have the abilities that you've grown up with about like quickly recovering from wounds and being a lot more fortified and being a lot more safe from the possibility of death. So you start to get maybe a little nervous about the concept of living in this time and what that might mean for potentially waiting to see if you can find Avis. If you try to live here normally, it'll be a far riskier proposition than anything you've been used to. Is there anything in particular you guys are trying to figure out or find in your investigation that you'd like to know about, and I can give you with your role?
Somewhere to stay for the night. Do I have any money on me if I needed it?
You made money working at the station, but you made money to go into like a retirement account, right? It was, things were free in the colony
Except
to
for
people who
subscription
lived
boxes.
there.
Right.
Except for like additional things like from the outside, like ordering monthly subscription boxes.
Right, yeah.
But it was like the vibe of like people who go and work on like oil rigs, where all the necessities and the housing and everything is provided before pay, and you can, walk over and get any food you want and get whatever, and have recreational facilities and like a space where everything is taken care of. You went to the distribution center to get stuff.
Right.
You didn't buy food. You didn't make money to buy food. You made money as like a reassurance, like, oh, well, if I ever need to move away from New Ronne and go to the mainland, or if something ever happens and things change, I still have money for like the outside world or for the additional things. So maybe you would assume that you can still just walk around and get stuff that you need, like food or whatever. Maybe even like staying somewhere for free if there's a hostel or a hotel or something, which if you're looking around for, you can find like a place to stay like that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just mostly concerned about a place to stay.
Neil's not so worried about that because he's like, he can basically power down anywhere and just go low power mode. He is eager to like see everything and is trying to be careful about like not saying or exclaiming too much so that they don't seem too out of place any more than he already does. He's definitely like avoiding the other newer robots. He's like a little embarrassed. He just doesn't want to have to talk to them about being an old model. Do I need to worry about like running out of power?
Your systems are different than you knew them. You did plug into a port at night in your low power mode. You clearly have a energy storage device that's letting you like walk around right now, but I think you're a little unclear on how long that would last or what that means for you. You don't feel internally any weak or anything. You can run a quick system check on yourself if you'd like.
I'll do that for sure.
Your interface in your brain has changed and updated, and you're trying to get your bearings about everything. The basic information that you can parse out right now that's important in this moment is that you do have like a fuel cell. It seems like it might be interchangeable and rechargeable, and it's not going to be something that runs out in a matter of hours. It might last a number of weeks, right?
Okay.
On the way towards somewhere to stay for the night, you guys have a little bit of time for conversation.
What do you think happened to Milo?
Yikes.
Yikes, man. I do genuinely think that was something that like Devon was pushing out of his mind, probably.
Yeah. So we're just like walking along the sidewalk. I think Devon just like stops and just like grabs your arm, Neil. I don't know, Neil. I mean, hopefully he lives out a very long and happy life.
I'm sure Miss Bader Ginsburg was able to take good care of him.
Amen.
That's just what we call her to Neil when we talk about her.
You don't know who Ruth Bader Ginsburg is.
I'm sure Miss Ruth was able to take good care of him.
Yeah, I'm sure he had a good life, right?
If you would like, the history of the past isn't something that's unknowable. If you want to try to go to a library and do some research tomorrow.
Yeah. What time? You said it's afternoon?
You guys have been walking around investigating for a while. It's you probably find a place to stay for the night, like a hotel. There isn't charge, just like there isn't charge for supplies for people that live here. But you can find a place to stay for the night, and in the morning, before you go to the detox center, you can do a little research at the library, Devon. Make an investigation check again.
One of the things at the front of my mind is how long has it been? And also what happened to the healers and all the animals? They must still be in the history book somewhere, right? When did they disappear?
Neil, if you're helping, you can also roll.
I want to roll to find a technician's manual for whatever my current model is, so I can figure out when this is from and how it works. You said investigation?
Yeah.
Can I roll history?
You can choose history if you'd like. The same goes for you, Devon.
It's an 18 history.
I got a 17.
Neil, you can find the kind of books that will allow you to eventually have more knowledge about your system, how to take care of yourself, how to interchange things, how to fix things. It's not something you're going to get right away and with publicly available resources that just anybody could have. But you can see a direction you can start working in to understand that over time. Devon, the history that you're finding here, even on that high roll, it's hard to find things that are useful because you're seeing the fingerprints of censorship, a curated history. You can easily figure out the year. It's been exactly 157 years since your time. If you look at history books about the establishment of New Ronne just before your time and what came soon after, there's not a lot of useful information that's included in a history book, about the names of regular average people, just perhaps for a colony of the United States, there's not a lot of logs about exactly everybody. There might be stuff about the leader, which you do see things about the administrator, but it seems like it's a very cheery history. It's too happy. You know there should have been problems or difficulties over time. The books don't say anything about temporal powers, about whatever this thing that everybody knows but won't say is. You don't see anything about that kind of technology. You see a cheery history of the colony that doesn't mention any problems or strife or hardship. You do, however, see an article about the administrator, Avis's dad, a number of years after you left. And there's a picture included. It's just about how he was the first leader of the colony, not elected, but appointed by the federal government. And he stewarded the place over decades of his long life. And it looks like he died.
It's an obituary.
It's like an obituary.
Okay.
And it happened years later, but this is 150 years old, buried in a subsection of some unpopular history book. So it's not like this is average knowledge of people, just the average American today couldn't tell you who the mayor of or the leader of the colonies, any of the 13 colonies were, or what they looked like. So maybe that's why it's not raising any red flags with people. But you see this obituary was long afterwards, and it mentions his family. And it mentions the both of you as people who worked at the station with him actively after the point where you should have not been there anymore. I'm not sure if you know why or how that means what it means, but it seems like you were moved forward. You remember a thing the stranger said to you in the room, something about the world that you would make here. And it seems like you were moved forward into a history that you would have made and not into a history that existed without you.
So I guess Milo is okay then.
Okay.
All good. You can put yourself
see-
at ease.
You don't see any mention of Milo.
That's
which when they're
fair.
mentioning your family working at the station, you wonder what ended up happening to Milo. Where did he go? What did he do?
How many years after we left was the article?
A decade or two.
So Milo would have been like a full adult. Like, it's a little weird.
What did Milo want to be when he grew up?
Rat.
Like the animal.
Kids do just do that.
So he wasn't at the stage where he had like a career goal.
No.
Okay.
That's about all the useful information you can find, though. Obviously, the information about Avis's dad is very peculiar, with the person currently still in the detox center at this point in the morning. You also need to figure out a way that you're going to try to get to Avis. She's in the future ? Somehow, but like if she got moved too far into the future, just waiting here isn't really an option. But when you're thinking about the task at hand, anybody and everybody all the time moves into the future. It's a quite easy thing to do by just keeping yourself alive and living, right? Anybody has that power. Moving to the past is an insurmountable thing. You know there must be temporal technology, but it's like in the hands of a bad-looking government, fascist-feeling government. You keep seeing the mention of the United, people talking about that when you ask them questions or anything like that. So like getting to a spot where you could figure out that technology and use it yourself is like years of risk and danger, versus moving to the future is just, if you wake up tomorrow, you're one day further into the future. If you could find a way to stay alive longer, you could just wait until you see Avis show up sometime.
I mean, what option do we have besides going to see the administrator?
We can find the new administrator.
Maybe we should go grab Ralph first.
All right.
So you guys are going to see the administrator in the detox center?
Ralph. We're going to see Ralph.
You're going to see Ralph, but even that you're not sure is the right thing to call him. You get to the detox center though, and he's already kind of standing outside, starting to drink. Like he got up, checked himself out. It wasn't like he was placed on a medical hold or anything. Like this isn't a kind of thing that this society does. They just keep bringing him here to get it out of his system so he's not on the streets.
So he's starting to drink already?
Yeah.
I kind of like
having a nice morning swig.
Jog up to him and I try to grab it out of his hand.
You swipe it out of his hand while it's like mid-chug and it spills a lot over his chin and his shirt. And he goes, "What the hell, man? Wait a fucking second. It's you fucking douche."
Administrator Merlot, good morning.
Oh, my head. How did you two get here? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Give me my drink back, by the way.
No, I pour it out.
What the fuck, dude? I'm gonna have to go to the distribution center and get another one.
How did you get here?
I don't have to answer that question. How did you get here, Dick? You should be dead.
We time traveled?
What are you talking about?
I kind of remember about how we shouldn't be talking about this stuff or ask questions about this stuff. And I kind of like grab his arm and say like, let's go somewhere more private.
He tries to throw your hand like off his arm, like shaking it off. And he's like, don't fucking touch me, asshole.
Sorry. Why do you keep calling me that?
I don't know, man. I don't like you. It seems like you're a different person though. Yeah? You're not the one I knew or something? Are you guys doing a prank?
What do you... Okay, we were in the server room together when this happened.
You see he looks up and his like expression like frowns and he's like, server room? This is somebody who's like destroyed their brain a little bit and their memory by drinking themselves unconscious for years and years. And you don't see a lot of recognition in his face. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you think about like the concept of being moved forward to a future you would have made and not one where the person showed up to move you, right? So you're not sure that that happened to him. He doesn't remember just the general notion of being with you in the server room, though. And he says, man, look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're talking about. If you're trying to get me in trouble by talking about the time stuff, I don't give a shit about that or about you. I'm not a smart man, and I'm not in a good place, clearly. And he's like trying to hold himself a little bit straighter up. And he says, but I still have my morals. I don't like people who fucking throw their kids in the dirt, right? I don't like you, I don't know you, and I don't have to talk to either of you, or whatever the hell you have going on. If you'll excuse me, and he tries to like push his way between the two of you to start walking towards the distribution.
Hold on, can you at least just tell me where Avis is?
Who's Avis?
Your daughter?
What are you talking? Oh, right. I just remembered what's going on. I just remembered who I look like. Got it. That's funny, dude. All right. And he starts walking away again.
Neil, can you help me grab this guy? Hold on.
I'm going to grab his arm.
If you guys start moving towards him to try to grab him, he starts to like yell for help. Like, help, I'm being accosted. Help, these guys are trying to grab me.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Then I guess we don't have a problem. And he starts walking away again. He clearly wants nothing to do with you, Devon.
Neil's looking to Devon for instruction on whether he should be grabbing or not.
I shake my head.
All right, he doesn't grab him then.
You see the disheveled looking person, the administrator, somebody who looks like the administrator, round the corner out of sight towards the distribution center.
Neil, I don't know if we're going to get any information out of that guy. I don't know who he really is. I don't think that's the administrator.
Then where is the administrator?
Hopefully with Avis, I guess. I mean, I don't really know where to go from here besides...
Surely there are still answers in the research center.
I think while you're both still trying to figure out what's possible and not, we can move into a little bit of a fast forward period. Any time you spend trying to get into the station or the building that now occupies where the station was is futile, right? It's absolutely like a military outpost for this governmental entity that now runs things. It is dangerous to even inquire about it. People are cagey about talking about it. Everybody's living a good, happy life here, but they don't think about or look at that building. You're not sure anything about that. You can find like a map of the area and see the other colonies are still around. They look like they might be full cities now as well. And any amount of time you try to get in touch with the person who looks like the administrator, they are either drunk out of their mind in the detox center where they don't want you to go in and like be with people while they're trying to rest and recover, or like insulting you, wanting nothing to do with you, pushing you away, yelling if you try to get close or do anything like grab him or like corner him or anything, bringing attention to it so people start coming over. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with you, and he doesn't want to give you information. He doesn't want to be helpful. He is like hostile towards you. But that's what you find out over a period of a couple days, and you're just not sure what else use you can get here with your like limited nature. I mean, you don't have like an identity that can be known here. You can't apply for a position in the station because you don't have like, you're 157 years in the future. You know, you don't have like a social security number or something identifying that would like not raise concerns about what the hell is going on with that. Neil is like out of date compared to the modern robotics here, and he's not gonna be like sought after to go into the station or anything like that. So you figured out what you can figure out, and now it's just a question of, I mean, in your mind, Devon, what's the big question in your mind?
Neil, look, I don't even know what to do anymore. Like, it feels like everything we try to do here is just blocked or censored or useless. Man, I just want to see Avis again.
Well, if Avis is in the future, maybe you should just wait.
Yeah, but we don't even know when she's going to show up. What if I'm dead? What if you're broken by then?
The woman you spoke to the other day, she asked if you were on ice.
Right, that's just like, you know, like in the sci-fi books, they'll like go into like a cryo chamber or something.
We're in the future.
Right.
Maybe you can.
Wait, you think it's just like there's just like a big building you can go, like a hotel, but it's like capsules?
I don't know. We could ask someone.
Is there anything on the map?
You guys look into it, and now that you know to actually search for that out of all the buildings and stuff and start asking questions to people, you get pointed to a big building where you can do that.
Now we just need to leave some kind of note for Avis if she does show up.
Well, hold on, Neil. Are you gonna go on ice, or are you just gonna like sit there?
Of course I'm gonna go on ice. We're gonna wait for Avis together.
Can the robots go on ice?
Would you guys like to go to the cryo house?
Yeah. Let's go to the place.
Let's go to the cryo
Talk
house.
to the front desk.
You make your way to the cryo house on the edge of town. It's a building that stands out from the rest. It was, on the outskirts, so it's not something you passed by before, but where most things are covered in glass and green. This is like a building that is silver and reflective, and it looks approximately like a flask that's laying on the ground, like curving up on two of the sides. And it's like shiny and reflective, and there's a front door that you go in where you see a young woman, a pretty young woman, like probably a young adult or somebody who's not like barely quite out of their teenage years yet, sitting behind the front desk.
Hi. We want to go on ice.
We'd like to go to the future.
Yeah.
She looks up from the book that she was reading behind the counter, and she kind of like is a little bit indifferent looking towards you guys, but she says, "Hi, you want to go on ice?" And she points at Devon.
I'd like to go on ice too.
Sorry, what's your name?
Neil.
Neil, you can't go on ice.
Well, why not?
I mean, it doesn't work on robots.
Oh,
It wouldn't really work for you, but you don't really need it. You can just get like repaired or whatever.
well, I suppose I could wait for you.
Well, but you understand we don't want him to be sitting around waiting for me to wake up. That's kind of sad,
When
right?
do you want to go to? Like, what do you mean sit around? Seems like you guys had like a conversation about something before that I don't know about.
Right.
So I don't know what's happening, but
Well,
I just want to help you get into a cryopod if that's what you want.
What are the options like?
Do you not know how far forward you want to travel? Are you one of those kind of people?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of those. You can do indefinite stay if you wanted to, but it has to be tied to an account to pay for it.
Maybe you can like try to give him the routing details to your old retirement account, and now your retirement account has like millions of dollars in or something like that.
She points you over to like a routing terminal to like fill out your information, and you can like kind of dig into it, and you see, even though as far as you've come to know, you should be in like a future where you lived and existed and presumably used this account, it's still open, active, like accessible, and has been collecting interest. It looks like it was left open and active indefinitely with some sort of legal paperwork. And at a modest interest rate, you now see after 157 years that you have hundreds of millions of dollars in the account. In the quick math in your head, even with like inflation, you still have like millions of dollars of buying power.
And it's probably like the interest would be enough to pay for the cryo chamber.
Well, you comes back and she says, yeah, a lot of people don't know, but in the United, you can actually tie your cryo account to a retirement account. So as long as you have that information, you can do indefinite stay, but then you would need to like leave a reason to wake you up or somebody that we could contact regularly.
You could contact me.
So you should be put down as the contact point for this person. What's your name?
Devon.
Well, Devon, if you want to put this Neil person down as your contact and you have a retirement account, then you can sign up for indefinite stay.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, well, follow me back to the chambers.
Can I follow?
Sure. It's like a kind of like guest thing, like you can go with them and see your friend go under.
I'll go.
She leads you back, and you're going down a long hallway, and you turn towards the left, and you're passing lots of rooms that are just walls of these like pods or chambers with people in them. And you think about all the lives of people who would rather do this than live in something that looked to you like a utopia at first, and what life is like here, and what life is like outside of the borders of the floating fortresses keeping people out of this place. And she leads you into a room where there are a number of chambers along the wall, and allows you to get in one, opening the door and sliding it closed.
Whoa. Can I have a moment alone with Neil? Just for a minute.
Yeah, I guess. And she like steps out into the hallway.
I reach out and grab Neil's hand and like starting to tear up a little bit. Devon just goes, Neil, thank you for doing this.
Of course. I'm always happy to help.
And I like tell him the details to the retirement account.
You already filled out all that information.
No, but like I like added him as an authorized user.
Okay.
So I'm like, Neil, like get all the upgrades you want, like anything that you need.
You actually have to spend a few moments at the terminal, like going through a lot of process about like you're getting security checks and emails like, hey, this was an inactive account for a long time. That's crazy. But you like fill out all the information and add him as an authorized user.
Like just get like regular maintenance as much as possible. Like, you know, like not saying to change your whole look, but like I want you to be okay. And thank you.
Of course. I'll come and get you when Avis is here.
Just Devon, like thinking like no idea when that could be in his head, but isn't really gonna say that out loud. And just says, see you when I wake up, Neil.
The receptionist steps back into the room and slides the door closed with a click, and you are each looking at each other through the glass.
Put my hand up.
Please put your hand down.
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to do it, you know, have a thing.
Yeah, but you should actually probably not do that unless you want it to potentially break.
Oh, okay.
Arms at your sides, please. Neil, you are thinking about being happy to help, and you do feel that, but in your state, you're wondering the extent to which you're choosing to feel things, and which things are being put onto you from some other part of your circuit boards, your brain, your directives. But you do want to help, and you are happy to do this right now, and you're trying to give reassurance to your friend who is clearly scared. You now know what fear feels like. It doesn't feel good. You have empathy for the first time about what somebody else around you is going through. Devon, you're looking through the glass and you hear a hiss of gas being released into the chamber, not of a freezing agent yet, but of something that will put you to sleep in order to make the whole process more comfortable. And you're looking at the glassy camera eyes of your robot pal, your coworker, unable to convey the reassurance that it's trying to project to you. And I think you wonder about all the things running around in your head. You feel your heart beating fast and you feel yourself starting to go to sleep, but it doesn't slow down your heart. It just becomes quickly impossible to like keep your eyes open, and they're fluttering closed. And maybe you have an intrusive thought just before you go under as you're looking at your friend Neil. If the next time you see those eyes will be alongside your wife, or if this is the last time you'll see that face. And the world goes dark. And that's all for this episode of Fire and Smoke, New Ronne. If you want to keep up with the show, you can follow us on TikTok or Instagram at Fire and Smoke Podcast. If you're enjoying the show so far, please make sure to leave us a nice review on whatever platform you're using to listen to it. Does anybody else have anything they want to say before the end of the show?
Screw you, man.
He's doing Fallout.
I was feeling it at the end. I was about to start tearing up. That
Really?
was scary.
No lie.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened at the end.
I'm sorry I put Abby in a position where she's just hanging out.
I don't care.
Next episode, you guys are just hanging out.
We're gonna be like the two Muppets.
What?
Yeah,
Two
the two guys, the two old
Oh,
guys.
Two old guys.
It's
How they laugh.
something like that. I don't remember. I can't hear it. That's much better. That's so much better.
Pretty good, that's pretty good. Got his voices.
Well, I'm sorry I was making you tear up a little bit at the end, but scary. It's a scary life.
It's so scary.
I was really just picturing like me like switching Neil to like off mode and then going into the chamber. But then you brought up like someone needs to wake me up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Avis isn't gonna know that I'm here. So
Yeah, it's a big job for Neil to do.
yeah, Neil,
We should have checked the other cryopod chambers just in case to make sure Avis wasn't here.
Oh no!
Whoops.
Like, I know out of character she's not, but in character we should have checked.
Neil will have so much time to do that, to research his new like mechanical anatomy and how to take care of that, to look into mysteries and try to figure things out. You got time to do like a lot of stuff, man.
To be
He's gonna
fair,
become like a Black Ops commando and break into the research station and like learn time travel powers.
Devon does like internally know that Avis is probably further in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, by the way, where's Eric?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I meant to tell you guys, Eric slept through his alarm and he texted me. He said, just go ahead without him. He'll be here at the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, because the next one's Avis's episode. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was-
yeah.
It's important that it's Avis and
Yeah.
whoever Eric's character is.
Yeah, we'll see you next episode. All right.
Slay,
Pull, wait, pull.